Hello, first of all, thank you. I very much appreciate that. The edge alignment is a thing that I've really, spent a lot of time working on, as we all do. There is a little something in this comment that I'm so sorry to do this to you. This gets me on a little bit of a soapbox because this is a thing that has to do with the approach that I have towards cutting. There's some concern towards having my hips pointed away from my opponent and having my head turned away from my partner. Here's the thing. If I think of this, I'm using this jug today as my target. If I think of this as a partner, as a thing to be struck, or as an opponent, or as an analog for a limb or something like that, then I'm already losing. What do I mean by this? Cutting practice is a study in movement. That's, before it's anything else, it is that. It is a demonstration of how well I can move through a given plane. The focus, the cutting medium, whether this is tatami or a water jug or a mound of clay, gives me a piece of information that is as wide as that target about that one particular point in that arc. And so if I were to try and practice cutting to center, and I treat this as my opponent, I treat this as a target that is right in front of me, my sword is going to make it to the middle of that. It is not going to make it all the way through. If, however, my supposed opponent, my supposed partner, is here in space, then when I give that cut to center, the part of my cut that I want information on is to the right of the part that I'm actually cutting towards. This is different than hitting a pel. I can't cut through the pel. Even if I give a big full range of motion strike, I can't cut through the pel. The pel is there, the pel is always going to be there. I am always going to stop at the pel. And so, if I give this full range of motion zwaarhou, then yes, absolutely, I'm turning the back of my head to this, because this does not represent this. If I give the same action over here, now I'm absolutely safe, because by striking to here, I am not striking all the way through. Over here, I am striking all the way through. If I practice the cut to stop here, then I'm not going to get any information about my cut. So when I'm going to a target, to a piece of tatami or something, I'm not cutting this thing, I'm moving. And this thing just so happens to be in the way, and if I'm moving well, then I'm going to cut it. So if I grab my sharp, I'm going to hit the pel one time with the sharp. Don't do this, bad call. I'm actually going to just tap this with the sword, right? I'm going to give that same setup that I gave in the first video, where I'm starting in right ox, and I'm basically giving it zwaarhou to end in left ox. And I take that nice big step out. I can go no further than this. If I were to go further than that, then I would. If I think of the thing that I'm cutting, in this case, as being the camera, right here, the viewer, if I'm having my strike end at a point that is through that, then that means that the thing that I'm cutting, the place where I'm getting information from on this cut, is actually over here, not there. Here is where my target would be. Here is where the cutting medium is. And this is a tricky thing to disconnect, but I think once you start doing that, once you start understanding that this is not necessarily the goal, but rather that it's part of the process, this helps a lot of people conceptualize cutting a lot better. And so, once again, against the pel, I'm only getting this far. Against the water jug, I'm getting that far. Because I was focusing on that. That is the target. This is a thing that happens to be in the way. Cutting practice is movement, where you get a little bit of information at some point in that arc. This is different from Pell work. This is different from working with a partner. This is different from fencing an opponent. So, weird little soapbox of mine, but I hope that helps, and I hope somebody gets something out of this. Cheers.